Jalen Rose, we knew it was going to happen, and it has happened. Kawhi Leonard has officially signed with the Clippers. The details of the deal are as such: 4 years, option on the fourth, with $176.3 million. Now, he is rehabbing from a surgery. What do you think his approach to this season will be? Will we see him play for the Clippers?
I would be surprised, actually, if we see him play, Jacoby. Now, the Clippers are really well coached by Tyronn Lue, for everybody that was underestimating his greatness after he won a championship with LeBron James and the Cavs. But Kawhi Leonard was already a player that was dealing with recurring injuries that needed maintenance. And so now when you add another surgery to that, if you're required to be out a couple of months already, and then all of a sudden the team isn't like a top 2 or 3 seed, it's almost like, is he coming back in January, February, or is he coming back in February, March? That's a big distinction in an NBA calendar. So based on those factors, as much as I would love to see him play clearly this year, and hopefully finally see Paul George and Kawhi play a playoff series against LeBron and AD, I say I would take the under, and we still don't see them play against one another this year in the playoffs.
It's really interesting. I mean, based on the timetable and the history of this injury, it seems like he could come back with like 10, 15 games left in the regular season, get his legs underneath him, and then make a playoff push. But however, everything we know about Kawhi Leonard is he's very cautious with his medical stuff. He's very cautious when it comes to returning to the court, playing every game, playing lots of minutes. So like you, I don't think he sees the court even in the playoffs for the Clippers. And the Clippers, without Kawhi Leonard, don't really stack up in the Western Conference. What are your expectations for this team if they don't have Kawhi?
I don't expect them to be a team that advances past the first round, even if they make the playoffs, because the West continues to get more stout. Klay Thompson is returning. I seen Luka just re-sign with the Mavs. I anticipate Kristaps Porzingis to have a better season. So as I'm thinking about the lower part of the Western Conference, they may be a team that can find its way into the playoffs, but I have to go with what I initially felt and thought. Coming back later in the season doesn't just seem like something that he's going to do or be willing to do. However, that would be great theater to get Kawhi Leonard back late in the season and the Clippers are hovering around the play-in or the 7th seed, and then all of a sudden you get the Clippers as a lower seed going against some of the higher seeded teams in the Western Conference. Now, that'll be something I'll sign up to watch for.
You've been dreaming about a Clippers-Lakers series every year since LeBron got there, and you just haven't gotten it yet. You bring it up every single year, and it just hasn't happened yet. Maybe that'll be the scenario in which it happens. Another one of those teams that I expect to be kind of around the play-in, the 6th seed, the 7th seed, the 8th seed in the Western Conference, are the Portland Trail Blazers. And all the conversation around the Trail Blazers is Dame Lillard and his happiness. Well, we're going to do the thing that I like to do, read way too much into a tweet. He put this tweet up in response to someone saying how much you want to bet the NBA season starts. The Lakers still get Dame Lillard. He said, bet $1 million. Now, I don't think he's going to the Lakers, but what do you think he's trying to say with this tweet?
If I'm Portland, here's what I'm trying to say. If you're the GM, Neil O'Shea, you just hired Chauncey Billups, who I'm telling everybody's going to do a terrific job with that team. Dame Lillard still has multiple years left on his contract. He's a legitimate franchise player. I ain't trading him, dog. I ain't trading him, dog. You called me about Dame this offseason, voicemail. And who listens to voicemails these days? Not me.
Nobody.
Not me. Do you listen to voicemails these days?
No, you're the only person that leaves voicemails.
So don't even
you're the
call
only
me
person
about
that
Dame
leaves
Dollar this year.
voicemails. Well, here's one thing that I would say. If I'm Neil O'Shea and I get the phone call and you're calling me, you're Dale Morey calling me about Dame, I say, I'm not gonna hang up. I'll say, we're not talking about Dame, but if you want to talk about CJ and some pieces or CJ and a pick, then maybe Ben Simmons could end up on the Blazers. That's my ideal scenario for this franchise, is they keep Dame and they trade a lot of pieces to bring in Ben Simmons later in the season.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.